In this Sketchpad lab, we're going to do 3 exercises from the textbook. Our favorite joke, why was 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. All 3 of these exercises involve a translation, and you can see it written here in coordinate form and in yellow in vector notation. We're going to do each of these 3 exercises slightly differently, but no matter how we do it, we're starting with the same blue figure. And that blue figure, as you recall, is called the pre-image. And it is going to map into its image. So we start at the pre-image, that's what's given, and we're going to slide it over into the red, the image. And we'll be consistent with our textbook. We'll use the coloring scheme here. First one, we're just going to use the coordinate rule. And we're just going to add numbers. Very easy. Look at P over here. So P prime, I set these up so if you just double click on them, you can say -2 plus 4, well that's going to be a 2 over here. 3, I'm looking at the rule down here, y plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. Easy enough. 1 plus 4 is 5 over here. 2 plus 6, that's 8. Follow along with me. 3 plus 4, that looks like 7. And -1 plus 6 is certainly 5. Now, you recall, and I know all my students do, we can change the scale here at any time, but we certainly have to plot. No snapping the points. If you really want to see, the grid, well, I said if you really want to see the grid, come on, show the grid. It's there, but I think it's a little cleaner without it. So we're going to hide grid because we're going to plot our points. And we're going to plot points. 2, 9, just 2, tab 9. And if you just hit and return, that's going to plot it. 5, tab 8, plot. 7, tab 5, plot. And we're going to say done. Now we're going to have to manually label these. This is going to come up, oh, T1, that's terrible. We're going to change that to P prime. And let's make it a sensible size font. And we'll make it red so it matches the rest of them. Now I guess we must have been 36. And this one we'll make Q prime, and this one will be R prime. And we'll connect the 3 segments, or 3 points, sorry, with segments, and we appear to have something that would be a congruent triangle, 2 congruent triangles, because in fact this is an isometry. Isometry, write that down for your notes. Isometry means, of course, that the image of this translation is congruent to its pre-image. Oh, very good. That was 7. Let's get to 8. And now we'll do this one just a little bit differently. And we'll take, let me see, I look at this coordinate rule, x plus 2, or x plus 9, y minus 2. I know it's shifting to the right and down. So I'm going to start with point R, like a good pirate. So I'll say 3 plus 9, that's going to be 12. -1 minus 2, that's -3. Now we're going to fill in the other points later, but watch this. Let's just plot one point. Graph, plot points. Let's go 12, tab -3. Plot and done. And this one we're going to label R prime. Just like it sounds. So now let's see what Sketchpad can do for us. Now, you've done this 100 times before already this year, but we're going to mark a vector. So I select R, then R prime. I go to transformers, I marked a vector. You all saw that path. It was so much fun, I'm going to do it again. I mark from R to R prime, mark vector. Now, I'm going to select my pre-image. I'm going to sweep. I could do it this way. I don't want to select the axes. I do want to select the 3 segments, the P and the Q. I don't need to select the R because that's already identified. I go to transform, and I'm going to translate. How? By marked vector. translate. While it's still selected, I'm going to change the color to my image color of red. And Sketchpad is so smart, it already did this for us. It knows Q maps to Q prime. It knows P maps to P prime. So label those as well. Now we're not done. Almost done. And you might want, we'll show the grid just for fun here. We're going to do our arithmetic. -2 plus 9. And of course that's going to be 7. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Let's confirm the coordinates of P. 7, 1. Nice. How about Q? I've got 1 plus 9 is 10. 2 minus 2 is 0. So 10, 0 for Q prime. And if you look over here, confirm. 10, 0. Very nice. Well, that's 2 out of 3. Let's have some fun with the last one, number 9. Okay, on 9, we see what's going to happen here. Our x minus 2, y minus 5. I'm moving back and down, so it's coming towards the left and the bottom there. So I could do this. Yeah, we could fill these out. Let's just do something here with P. Let's say -2 minus 2. That's -4. 3 minus 5. That's -2. So I've got the coordinates of P prime. Oh, what the heck, let's do the rest of them. 1 minus 2 is going, well, I've got 1 minus 2, so I've got -1. And I've got 2 minus 5, -3. And for R prime, I've got 3 minus 2, that's going to be 1. And -1 minus 5, -6. So I already know the coordinates, but we're going to build an animation here. This will be fun. Let's just pick a point, one of these points at random, and I'm going with P this time. We're going to graph P prime. So we're going to plot the points. -4, tab, -2. Plot, done. This time, I'm just going to draw a path from P to P prime. And I'm going to make that dashed. Because this is going to represent the travel, the vector here. I'm going to place a random point on it, and I'm going to label that P prime. So P prime can travel along here like that. Now I could hide this, or I could leave this path. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to hide this point so I don't get confused by it. But I can see this path. And remember, because you plotted it, you could change the scale at any time. And now I'm going to translate from P. Mark the vector from P to P prime. Mark my vector. And I'm going to translate all the components as I did before. Change them to red. And I'm going to label them Q prime, R prime. Now we did this one for a reason, because now we can see what this translation does. The isometry, it just slides down and to the left. If I want to have some fun with that, I'm going to edit, action, animate that point, and let's animate that point forward, because I drew from P to P prime, once only, and let's go at some fast speed, like 4. And now you've got this fun little button. And if you hit that, it goes, whoa! Oh, that's so much fun. And if you need to confirm your points, let's do this. Let's show the grid. And I can make the scale something more sensible. Well, I guess that is pretty sensible. I'm looking at Q prime. I'm looking here, -1, -3. And over here for R, 1, -6. It checks out A-OK. Well done. So get this, finish this up, save it, and send it into the Dropbox.